"Your baby is going to die at midnight," the boy said. 5 minutes later, the unthinkable happened. A young mother holds her newborn baby in a hospital room, exhausted but grateful. The clock on the wall reads 11:55 p.m. Suddenly, a boy in a tan T-shirt appears at her bedside. His dark, curly hair frames a face far too serious for someone so young. "Your baby is going to die at midnight," he whispers. The mother's blood runs cold. She looks at the clock. Only 5 minutes remain. Security rushes in, but the boy has vanished. 4 minutes, 3 minutes. The baby's heart monitor begins to beep irregularly. 2 minutes. The mother screams for help. 1 minute, and then the unthinkable happens. But it's not what anyone expected. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments what time is it and where are you watching from. Let's start. The fluorescent lights hummed softly in St. Catherine's Hospital maternity ward. In room 347, Sarah Mitchell, a woman in her late 20s, lay in her hospital bed wearing a light blue hospital gown. A plastic wristband circled her left wrist. In her arms was her daughter Emma, born just 6 hours earlier, wrapped in a soft white blanket. Sarah's husband David had left 30 minutes ago to pick up her mother. The clock on the wall read 11:55 p.m. That's when she noticed the boy. He stood at the entrance, partially hidden by the blue privacy curtain. About 10 to 12 years old, with dark curly hair that seemed uncombed and wild. He wore a tan T-shirt that was too big for his thin frame and looked unwashed. His feet were bare and dirty. "Excuse me, I think you have the wrong room," Sarah said. The boy didn't move. His eyes, dark and impossibly old for someone so young, fixed on the baby. When he spoke, his voice was barely a whisper. "Your baby is going to die at midnight." Sarah's heart stopped. "What did you just say?" "Your baby is going to die at midnight, 5 minutes from now. I'm sorry." Sarah pressed the call button frantically. "Get out! Get out of my room!" Nurse Jennifer burst through the door. "Mrs. Mitchell, what's wrong?" She stopped when she saw the boy. "Who are you? How did you get in here?" "He said my baby is going to die at midnight," Sarah screamed. "Security to room 347." Jennifer shouted into the hallway. The boy looked at Jennifer with those same sad eyes. "You can't stop it. It's already written. 4 minutes now." 2 security guards arrived. The first, Marcus Thompson, reached for the boy's shoulder, but before he could touch him, the boy stepped backward and simply vanished into the shadows near the blue curtain. "Where did he go?" Jennifer gasped. The guard was already on his radio. "Code yellow. Unidentified minor, approximately 12 years old, last seen in room 347. Dark curly hair, tan shirt, no shoes." Sarah looked down at Emma, sleeping peacefully. 3 minutes until midnight. "Mrs. Mitchell, stay calm," Jennifer said, checking Emma's vitals. "Your baby is fine. Heart rate normal. Breathing normal." Dr. Amanda Reeves arrived and examined Emma thoroughly. "There's nothing wrong with this baby. She's healthy." But Sarah couldn't shake the dread in her chest. He knew exactly how many minutes were left. Look at the clock. 11:57 p.m. 3 minutes until midnight. "I want her in the NICU," Sarah demanded. "I want her on every monitor you have." "Mrs. Mitchell, that's really not—" "I don't care. My baby is not dying." Dr. Reeves exchanged a look with Jennifer. "All right, we'll take her for observation." They moved quickly, wheeling Sarah's entire bed to the neonatal intensive care unit. Nurses swarmed, transferring Emma to a specialized bed, attaching monitors, heart rate, oxygen, brain activity, temperature, 1 minute until midnight. Sarah gripped the bed rail, knuckles white. Dr. Reeves watched the monitors. Jennifer held Sarah's hand. 30 seconds. Emma's heart rate, 140 beats per minute. Normal. Oxygen, 99%. Perfect, 20 seconds. Everything looks good, Dr. Reeves said. 15 seconds. The lights flickered. 10 seconds. Every person in the room was watching now. 5 seconds. Sarah held her breath. Please, God, please. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. Midnight. For a moment, nothing happened. The monitors beeped steadily. Emma slept peacefully. See? Jennifer said. She's fine. And then Emma stopped breathing. Not gradual. Instant. 1 second breathing normally. The next second, completely still. The oxygen monitor dropped. 99%, 95%, 90%. Code blue, Dr. Reeves shouted. Infant in respiratory arrest. The NICU exploded into chaos. Dr. Reeves began infant CPR, hands moving precisely on Emma's tiny chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compressions, then a breath. Sarah screamed. Someone pulled her back, but she fought. Emma! Emma, please! The heart monitor fell. 120, 180, 60. Get me an IV, Dr. Reeves commanded. No pulse, a nurse announced. Emma's lips turned blue. Her skin lost its pink color. 40 beats per minute. 30, 20. She's crashing. Dr. Reeves continued compressions, sweat on her forehead. Come on, sweetheart. Breathe. 10 beats per minute. Sarah collapsed, unable to look away. And then she heard his voice again. I told you. Sarah's head whipped around. The boy stood in the corner, partially hidden by equipment. His tan T-shirt glowed slightly in the harsh light. I told you she would die at midnight, he said softly. But I never said she would stay dead. The boy walked forward, past nurses who didn't seem to see him. He moved through the chaos as if it wasn't there. When he reached Emma's bed, he placed one small hand on her chest, right where Dr. Reeves was performing compressions. Not yet, he whispered. Not like this. Not tonight. A brilliant light erupted from his hand. Dr. Reeves jerked back. The monitors went wild, alarm screaming, and then Emma gasped. Her chest heaved as air rushed into her lungs. The blue faded from her lips. Her heart rate jumped. 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. Strong and steady. The baby's eyes opened, and she cried. Oh, my God, Jennifer whispered. She's breathing. Dr. Reeves stared at her hands in disbelief. That's impossible. She had no pulse. She wasn't breathing. She was dead, the boy finished. She was dead for 1 minute and 17 seconds. But some things must happen exactly as they're written. Sarah pushed forward. Who are you? What did you do? The boy looked at her with ancient eyes. My name is Marcus. Your baby was supposed to die at midnight. It was already decided. But someone else decided something different. Marcus looked at Sarah with infinite sadness. Around them, the staff worked on Emma, unable to explain what had just happened. I'm not an angel, Marcus said softly, and I'm not a demon. 5 years ago, I was dying on a street corner 3 blocks from this hospital. It was winter. I was 12 years old, homeless, starving, sick with pneumonia. Everyone walked past me. Sarah's breath caught. A memory surfaced, distant and foggy. But one person stopped, Marcus continued. A young woman walking home from work. She saw me shivering in a doorway. She called 911. She stayed with me, gave me her coat, held my hand until the ambulance came. She told me I mattered. Sarah's legs trembled. "The paramedics brought me here, to St. Catherine's Hospital. I died in the emergency room at 11:47 p.m., but that woman's kindness followed me into whatever comes next." "Oh, my God," Sarah whispered. She remembered now, 5 years ago, working downtown as a legal assistant, walking home late one December night. A boy with dark curly hair and a tan T-shirt, shivering in a doorway. Most people walked past, but Sarah couldn't. She'd called 911, waited with him, given him her warm coat, ridden in the ambulance, holding his cold hand. "Marcus," the boy had whispered, "my name is Marcus." They'd rushed him into St. Catherine's. Sarah had waited for hours. A nurse finally came out and told her Marcus had passed away. Sarah had cried for a boy she barely knew, whose last moments had been spent with a stranger's kindness rather than alone. Then life moved on. She met David, got married, planned for Emma. The memory faded until tonight. "You," Sarah gasped. "You're him." The boy nodded. "When I died, I didn't go where most people go. I was caught between because of unfinished business. You showed me kindness when no one else would. You gave me dignity in my last moments. That created a debt, a cosmic balance that needed to be paid." "What debt?" "I just did what anyone should do." "But most people didn't," Marcus said. 47 people walked past me that night before you stopped. Your compassion created a ripple, Sarah. Tonight, that ripple came back." Dr. Reeves appeared. "Mrs. Mitchell, your baby is stable. Perfect, actually. Her oxygen is normal, heart rate normal, brain activity shows no distress. It's like nothing ever happened. But she had no pulse for over a minute. She was clinically dead." "A miracle," Jennifer whispered. Marcus smiled sadly. "Not a miracle. A balance. Sarah, your daughter was marked for death tonight. It was written before she was born. But because of what you did for me, I was allowed to intervene. I couldn't prevent her death. That was fixed. But I could ensure it wasn't permanent. She had to die at midnight, but she didn't have to stay dead. So you saved her? I paid back the debt of kindness. You changed my death from meaningless to meaningful. You gave me dignity so I could give your daughter a second chance." Sarah reached out, but her hand passed through empty air. He was fading. "Don't go. Why did she have to die at all?" Marcus's voice was barely audible. "Some things must happen exactly as they're written. If I prevented her death entirely, the cosmic balance would be destroyed. Death owed a debt tonight, and death had to collect. But life owed you a debt too. So the compromise, Emma could die, but she could also return. 1 minute and 17 seconds, just enough to fulfill what was written, just enough to balance the scales. Who decides these things?" But Marcus was almost gone now, just a shimmer. "I don't know who writes them. I only know that kindness matters. You saved me from dying alone. Tonight, I saved your daughter from dying permanently. The debt is paid. Will I ever see you again?" His final words whispered through the room. "Take care of her. Teach her to show kindness to strangers. Every person matters, even the ones everyone else ignores. Because you never know when a single act of compassion might change everything." He was gone. The NICU was quiet. Emma slept peacefully. The monitors showed perfect, healthy readings. Dr. Reeves cleared her throat. "Medically speaking, what just happened is impossible. But your daughter is fine now. Better than fine." "It was him," Sarah whispered. "Marcus. He saved her." Jennifer stepped forward. "Mrs. Mitchell, security searched the entire hospital. No child matching that description. No visitor logs. It's like he was never here. Because he wasn't, Sarah said quietly. Not really. He's been dead for 5 years. David rushed in. Sarah, is Emma okay? What happened? Sarah collapsed into his arms. She died at exactly midnight. Her heart stopped, but then he brought her back. Over the next hour, Sarah explained everything. David listened with disbelief, but couldn't deny that Emma was alive and healthy after being clinically dead. The next 3 days were full of tests. They kept Emma under observation, running every possible exam, genetic panels, brain scans, heart ultrasounds. They found nothing, no explanation for what happened. It's like her death never happened, Dr. Reeves finally said. There's nothing wrong with Emma, not now, and as far as we can tell, there never was. You can take her home. That evening, Sarah asked David to drive to the corner, where she'd found Marcus 5 years ago. The old building had been renovated, but Sarah stood there anyway, holding Emma. Thank you, Sarah whispered to the air. Thank you for saving her. I promise I'll teach her that kindness matters. I promise. A cold breeze blew past, and for just a moment Sarah heard a boy's voice. I know you will. 10 years later, on a cold December evening, Sarah walked downtown with Emma, now a bright 10-year-old who volunteered at the homeless shelter every Saturday. Emma suddenly stopped. Mom, look. A young woman sat in a doorway, shivering, clearly homeless. Most people walked past without a glance, but Emma didn't walk past. We have to help her, Emma said, already moving forward. Sarah smiled, tears in her eyes. Yes, sweetheart, we do. As they approached, Sarah pulled out her phone to call 911, and somewhere, in that space between life and death, a boy with dark curly hair and a tan t-shirt smiled. The debt had been paid, the balance was restored, and the ripples of kindness continued to spread, touching lives not yet born, changing destinies not yet written. 'Cause that's what matters most. Not grand gestures or heroic acts. Just one person seeing another person as human. One person stopping when everyone else walks past. One person showing kindness when it would be easier to look away. That's how the world changes. One act of compassion at a time. So here's my question for you. Have you ever stopped to help a stranger when everyone else walked past? Share your story in the comments below. If this moved you, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss stories like this. Share this video with someone who needs to be reminded that every act of kindness matters. Which part shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.